Good morning, scholars. Today we're going to continue our treatment of the Heracles Furens of Euripides, looking at lines 22 to 25. Kai tous men alus ἐκμοχθέω πόνους, το λοίσθιον de Ταίναρου διάστομα, bebek es Ӓιδου των τρισώματων κουνα, es pos ἀνάγω έντεν ουκ heke palen. Again. Kai tous men alus ἐκμοχθέω πόνους, το λοίσθιον de Ταίναρου διάστομα, bebek es Ӓιδου των τρισώματων κουνα, es pos ἀνάγω έντεν ουκ heke palen. Okay, so let's start with some of the vocabulary. ἐκμοχθέω, and here we have the third person singular aorist active, ἐκμοχθέω, okay, and it means to struggle through, taking the object pόνους, the plural of labor or toil, the two words that get used for the labors of Heracles are ponos and moktos. So here we have ponos in the plural, and ponos is from the verb penomai, which means to work for one's daily bread. Remember, Greek culture was really a culture of aristocrats, landed aristocrats who had slaves, but just a simple day laborer would be considered a poor person. So penomai is a state of such a person. And likewise, penetos ho is a day laborer themselves, as opposed to a beggar, ptokos, like Odysseus when he appears in disguise coming home to surprise the suitors. A ptokos, a beggar. So then we have loistheos, which means left behind or last, and it's the same as loistos and loipos, all of them from lepo, to leave behind, and losteios occurs in epic, so you have losteion aethlon, the prize for the last runner in the race. But here we have it with the neuter definite article as an adverb. So to lostion means and lastly. To lostion de, and lastly, and finally, okay, and last of all, okay. So, and then our main verb, bebek, from vαίνω, and I wanted to look at the principal parts of that. We have the stems ban and ba, but vαίνω with the future besomai, and here again is that future with a middle, in the middle, that has to do with physical action of the body, Smythe 806. And then we have a second aorist form, ebein, and the perfect that we're looking at now, bebega, okay, which becomes bebase in the plural, and bebamai, rare, and ebastein, rare, perfect, middle, and aorist passive, respectively. Okay, so again, when you look at these entries from the index of Smythe's verbs of index of verbs, you really want to pay attention to the ones in bold. But if you're reading Homer, you do have to look at these other ones, the epic aorist middle ebesamein, which is rare, or ebesomein, again rare, and these other forms. So you need to be able to read the whole thing, but this gives you a cross-section and you get to see. So here we have babeke, the third singular of the perfect, with the epsilon elided, of course. To walk, to go in front, or to simply here just to go. Okay. More vocabulary. Stoma, stomatos, tall. It's the mouth, or literally any outlet or entrance. Okay? And here I'm looking at 1302 of Smythe, which talks about this idiom that comes along with bebek ace haidu. Bebek ace haidu. Well, if you're familiar with your prepositions, you know that ace can only take the accusative. So you're wondering ace haidu. What is this genitive? This is a very, very common idiom in Greek. Okay, 1302 of Smythe. The word on which the possessive genitive depends may be represented by the article. Okay, so apo, tes, heauton, from their own country, and you're supplying geis here. Okay, and here we have exactly what we're after. A word for dwelling, oikia, domos, and also hieron, temple, is perhaps omitted after n, ace, and sometimes after x. So thus, in Aripronos means at Aripron's house. In Dionysu, you want to supply hieroi, at the shrine of Dionysus. And ace didaskalu poitan, to go to school, but literally to go to the house of the schoolmaster, the home of the schoolmaster. And then ek patrokleus erkomai, I have come from Patroclus's, and we do the same thing. I'm coming from Bob's, okay, from Bob's house. So in Homer, you have exactly what we're looking at here. In or ace aidau, but aidau, of course, in ace aidau, aidau, of course, being the Homeric genitive. So here we have ace haidu for ace domon haidu, or ace haidu domon. He went into the house of Hades. So he went, down under. Okay? To lostion de, tainaru diastoma, bebeke saidu, ton trisώματον kuna. So this is a very important idiom that one does get used to pretty quickly. Now, what's with this Tėnaros? Okay, Tėnaros referred to Cape Matapan, the most southern promontory of the Peloponnesus and of Europe, with a temple sacred to Neptune and a cave which was supposed to lead into the realms of Pluto/Hades, and through which Heracles is said to have dragged Cerberus to the upper world. So this is exactly what we're talking about here when in this passage. Okay? So the ancients imagined that this gateway to the underworld was at the very tip of the Peloponnese. So here we have a wonderful map that shows that red dot. You see all the way bottom, you have Greece up there, mainland Greece, and the Peloponnesian Peninsula, and then with Crete all the way down there. But that red dot is Cape Matapan, where there are caves and where they imagine was the doorway to Hades. I learned in looking this up that a very important naval battle occurred there between the British and the Germans in World War II. Let's have a moment of silence for the brave men and women who died during that battle. Okay. So, now more vocabulary. Trisώματος, three-bodied. Okay? And this is an example where you do the syllabification, the division of syllables a little different to honor the sense of the compound. So it wouldn't be trisώmatos, it's trisώmatos, so that you honor the elements of the compound. And kuon is one of the irregularly formed nouns that Smythe gives you at section 285. He lists a whole bunch of them. But so we have kuon, ho or he, depending on male or female dog. The genitive, kunos, kune for the dative, and kuna for the accusative singular. And you see the rest of the forms right there. And very good. That's my dog here making all this noise. Okay. So then we have pos, which is a contract of paos, which means light. And I thought we'd look at this whole entry. So paos, to, genitive, baos, okay, dative pae, resolved in epic, and then you get the added contract, which is what we're looking at here, potos, and like we talk about in science, photons, light or daylight. In the poets, it can refer to of life, okay, zoen kai dran baos he eli oio, to live and to look upon the light of the sun, okay, or to lepen baos he li oio, to leave the light of the sun. And then 2, it can mean daylight in pae, pos gignetai, it is becoming light, day is breaking, that's in Plato. Eos eti pos estin, while there is still light. Okay, 3, the light of a torch or lamp in Odysseus, in the Odyssey and Aeschylus. The light of the eyes in Pindar, plural, baia, for the eyes, as in comparable with Latin, lumina. And then finally, light as a metaphor for deliverance, happiness, or victory, and also addressing persons, glucaron baos, sweet light of my life. Okay, o biltaton pos, o most dear light. Okay, so pos, topos, light, has to be, with the circumflex, has to be distinguished from pos, potos, ho, which means man. Just 2 words very close to one another, where it's the accent that will determine whether you're dealing with light or man. Okay, anaxo, to lead up from a place, and here we have the future. Anaxo, the gamma and the sigma come together to form xi in the future, and we have a future participle here, which can express purpose or object. So Smythe 2065. The future and sometimes the present participle is used to denote purpose, especially after verbs to come, to go, send, summon. So having sent a herald in advance in order to proclaim war, with the purpose of proclaiming war. So propempsantes keruka polemon proerunta. Proerunta is our future participle in this case. So there are other examples, of course, but I don't want to add too much to the time of this video. Okay, now we have last pollen of place, back or backwards. Okay, uk heke pollen. So kaitus men alus exemok desen bonus to loisthion de Tėnaru diastoma bebek es Ӓιδου ton trisώματον kuna es pos anaxon enten uk heke palen. Again, kaitus men alus exemok de ten ponus to loisthion de Tėnaru diastoma bebek es Ӓιδου ton trisώματον kuna es pos anaxon enten uk heke palen. Okay, now I'll read it slowly with time for you to repeat after me. Kaitus manalus exemoktes ven ponus to lοίσθιον Tėnaru diastoma bebek es Ӓιδου ton trisώματον kuna es pos anaxon enten uk heke palen. Okay, that's it for lines 22 to 25 of the Heracles Furens. Everyone, have a good day, keep working hard, and remember that Greek is worth all the effort you're going to put in here. Bye-bye.